Hi, I'm Dr. Lusheen. I'm going to be your professor for Safety 483 Occupational Safety Management for fall of 2020. What I'd like to do is just kind of go over some of the things that I've built into this course and what my expectations are, and hopefully that assists you in doing well in this course. That's what it's all about. You've probably already read the objectives. Interestingly enough, ABC is actually based on B.F. Skinner's behavioral modification model, which we will talk about this semester. Have you heard? We've been in a pandemic for about 6 months. I want to thank everybody who participated in the survey that I had sent out a week ago. And if you do not want to come to campus or cannot come to campus, I support you 100%. So even if we are meeting in a classroom, I will be broadcasting live via WebEx. I'm going to try WebEx first. And that will be also recorded and available to you. There may be some glitches. With technology, there always is. So we're going to have to be flexible. I'm going to ask you to be flexible. I'll be flexible as well. But I also have the ability to do live lectures using a webinar software platform. Is that the right term? Just a webinar platform that I purchased a license to. So I can do that as well. I can also do pre-recorded at home like I'm doing right now. And so we're going to try these things. I want to see what you think after you've tried them all. So next Thursday, or the first day of class, I am going to be meeting in the classroom. I'll be broadcasting live through WebEx and recording it. So if you can't make that time or place, you can still watch it later. But if you can participate live in WebEx while I'm delivering a class, I want to know what you think. Next Tuesday, I'm going to use Webinar Jam. I'll be sending out or posting, both actually, the sign up for that. So you got to register for it. No big deal. You get a link, and I'll be delivering it from home here, but it'll be a live webinar broadcast. You'll also get the link of the recorded version. So if you can't make that time, you can also watch it after. And I'll also in there talk about how you can actually manipulate it. It may go fast, rewind, pause, and things like that. It's not built into the system. I found a hack. Next Thursday is going to be pre-recorded, but during the class period, I want to get on WebEx with you and talk about the 3 different methods. I also want to find out what you thought about the first lecture's assignment. From there, we'll kind of lay out the rest of the semester. I want to standardize it because that's always easier for all of us. That on every Tuesday, I do a live broadcast from classroom. Every Thursday, I do a live webinar on Thursday. I don't know what we're going to do. I want to see what works best for you because I'm not going to be able to satisfy 100% of you. Know that. But we should be able to come to a happy compromise. That's what we're going to do. So I've got the first 3 options here, and then we will lay out the rest of the semester. I think it's better always to try things. So typically this presentation in week 1, I almost act like a cheerleader, and I try to blow a lot of rainbow up your ass to try to get you excited. But it seems to wane as the semester goes on. And last fall, I had a class of students who were very unengaged to the point where they were actually insulting and arrogant. It's affected how I approach this class. I'm not demeaning you guys or saying that I'm going to do anything that will cause you to be angry, but I just want to be more realistic. I want to be more straight up and honest with you. I am going to talk about professionalism and how to prepare you for a career. And I'm going to be blunt. I'm not going to color code it, and I hope to see it in your weekly reflection. So first, I'm not here to satisfy you or to be your friend. I'm here as your coach, your mentor, your trainer. I am trying to bring you to the marketplace. And I believe that mindset puts me in a place where I am listening to the hiring companies. I'm listening to and requesting feedback from the people who are hiring you and interviewing you. And in doing so, I'm trying to build my curriculum and deliver it in a way and guide you in a way that will make you more successful in your job search, application, interview, and then acquisition. That's what my mindset is. I think our goals are mutual. Just realize that I'm not going to make things easier just because you believe it's difficult. I'm going to push you. That's what I'm here for. I want you to be the best version of you. Next is, and I take exception to what I've heard, at least from the most recent survey for the capstone, that I am attempting to develop and hone your problem solving skills, in that I'm going to give you assignments that aren't clearly laid out. So it's memorize this string of lines, rote memorization. That's not what my assignments are. I want there to be creativity. I want there to be trial and error, because that's what this career is all about. That is completely what this career is all about. Developing a strong sense of how to properly define a problem, and using techniques to collect data and understand with it, and then using the data to drive what the solutions could be. That's what this career is all about. I can't just fill your heads with every answer. And so that's why my course doesn't have a textbook. And that's why we get into some very current topics, and I bring in experts as guest speakers to talk about it, versus reading a textbook that's 20 years old, or just having you do the problems at the end of a chapter. This is meant to prepare you, and it's just a beginning point. There is no end point. You should continue learning and continue trying to understand. I do believe that the problem-solving technique, the maturity of it, the advancement of it, is strongly connected to your ability to learn. I kind of see them as being synonymous. And so your ability to understand and develop your, not only desire, but your technique, your ability, your proficiency in learning, is important for early career and advancement in your career. And lastly, you get what you give. I used to take it upon myself to try and get everybody to really push themselves to do well in this class, to really commit to it, to demonstrate to me not only are they understanding it, but they're excited about it. I'm beyond that now. It's up to you. But realize that the time we spend together over the next several months, I get to know who you are. And like I had said last fall, I had a difficult class. I see those same personality and behavioral tendencies coming out now in their internship and beyond. And over my career, I've seen students who in this class or in my class, they demonstrate that they don't have what it takes to do well in this field. And they may get a top-notch internship, and they may get a job offer. Within 6 months, they're fired or they move on. I see the real you, and that's why if that's what you want to do, so be it. But I'm here to make you better. And the people who hire you know that. And so they will come to me and say, who are the superstars? And I have no problem recommending students who demonstrate that higher level. And it could be any of you. It could be all of you. It won't be. I'm not going to get into it. Here's some of the comments from this past summer. Students always say, oh, get an internship early. Take advantage of field work, class work, network, and do LinkedIn. Take things serious. Get things done when they're due. And some of you won't. You just don't see the value right now. Until you get to that point where now you need a job and now you see it's important, then you're like, oh, I should have done that. Well, I'm telling you now, this is a consistent method that I've seen over 10 years. I don't know what else to convince you. It's totally up to you. You can do it if you want. On the bottom, I've got things from the site supervisors. Need to work on confidence, to communicate with workers. We'll be covering that all semester. And these are things I'm going to come back to all semester. It's interesting that we've got this student safety organization. Almost nobody joins. People don't go to meetings. People don't go on the tours. And then you ask, oh, what could we have done to make your experience better? Oh, have more of those opportunities. It's really frustrating, actually. You should know that I'm going to talk beyond OSHA standards. I'm going to criticize OSHA standards in this class because they're the foundation or basis, but you should be always practicing above and beyond them. Just so you know. And you got to learn to write professionally. And I'm going to be really focusing on professionalism because I did not like what happened, again, with the class last fall, and spring had some issues as well. So the first module is kind of easing in. I'm going to cover some of the foundational concepts you need to know. You'll see some of the connections to OSHA standards, but it'll go beyond that. And then we'll get into my criticism of OSHA record keeping, starting getting into work comp, and then we're going to do the loss run data analysis project, which is the Excel-based data analysis project. I've tried to give you more time than I have in previous semesters, give you more instruction and opportunity and structure than previous semesters. You have to engage. This is one thing I can't do for you. And I've given a lot. I've really been flexible on this project to the point where it actually kind of affects my form of decency. So you guys are going to have to do what you want, really. And I'm just going to grade you based on what the standards in the assignment say. I'm at that point now. Yeah. Here's the grading. Typically, I like to do the course binder, but I can't do that the way this pandemic has been set up. And so on a weekly basis, you're going to submit a summary of your notes. Please don't just pick out a slide from my PowerPoint. I will not count that. It needs to be in your own words and your own viewpoint. And then also a separate reflection, which will be how you connected to the material. Have you experienced it before? What have you heard before? If you don't agree with thing we covered in class, please talk about that. That I would respect that the most, I think, because then we could actually dig into it. Aside from the weekly stuff, there'll be a pre and post survey. You'll get that. The last one is from the campus. I'm speaking too long. I'm sorry. The exams are not going to be written. We're going to meet twice, at least not face to face, but WebEx meeting, one-on-one. And I'm going to put you through some scenarios and situations based on the course content. See how you respond to it. You guys wanted real world. I'm giving you real world. Semester project will be assigned, I think, like mid-October. It's due end of November. So you've got like a full 6 weeks to work on it. If you aren't familiar or comfortable with Excel, I advise you to find someone who can assist you or look on YouTube to start learning it. I try and give you tips, but I can only give you so much. I mean, in my career, I've been told to figure things out for a very long time. If you can't figure things out on your own, this is going to be a really tough career for you, for sure. If you're not familiar with having a study smarter technique to do well in college, these are 3 really good videos. I watched them. I thought they were good. When I had the course binder, it was predicated on Stephen Covey's effective habits of highly effective people. Trying to simulate that with the weekly assignments and the face-to-face WebEx exams, things like that. So my goal is to improve your professionalism. I'm going to do that through our interaction, especially through email. That you're writing properly. You're addressing things properly. Demonstrate the ability to learn. That's the weekly assignments. The knowledge will come from our meetings and through the project. And I'll gain some insight from you too from the weekly assignments, because I do read everything. Monday is my grading day. All my classes, I do all my grading on Monday, provide feedback, reviews, things like that. So I will be giving you direct feedback. And I really want you to be successful. So that's my deal. So my short-term goals for you, I already talked about the professionalism, and it does start with your professors. I don't understand the mentality to disappoint your professors. I don't get that. They're not only here to teach you, but they can actually help you in the early stages of your career. I don't understand that. It's like the concept or old adage, you bite the hand that feeds you. I don't get it. So you should be trying to get to know your professors and impressing them so they think that you're, to show who you are. If you don't see the value in continuous learning or professional development, I don't know what I can do for you. Are you going to approach this as an occupation? Is it just a job, or is it a career? For me, it's a career. Constantly giving back. I'm looking for feedback so I can get better. I want to get better. I want to help others. So I join things like ASSP and volunteer a lot of time to ASSP, and I get to know people. if you're treating it as an occupation, I don't know. I don't know how you could survive in this field. It takes passion. It takes the ability to withstand criticism and want to improve and to collaborate and cooperate. That's what it takes to be successful, to be respected. You should always be looking for opportunities. We try to present a lot of them for you. It's going to be a little bit difficult this semester with the pandemic, but we'll provide some online. And it's your, either you take those opportunities or you don't. The problem is you graduate and you're going to fill out the survey after your capstone. You're going to say, oh, I wish I had. So just do it. Just do it. And then always be looking to demonstrate or develop your value. And you do that through, look at your resume. Does it have an internship on it? Does it have experience on it? Can you brag about coursework or volunteer leadership, going to meetings, specialized training? These are all things that are available to you. Some of them cost money. I understand that. I could help you decide what's a good investment in specialized training, certification, designation, things like that. But you got to show the value. If you just go do things and you can't show the value, you're not going to get the return on it. My long-term goals for you, first, is to make your boss look good. Number one. It kind of starts with your professors and your advisors and stuff, but if you make your boss look good, you're more likely to, be given a promotion, be given recognition in front of the president of the company. That's what you're trying to impress. To the point where you can actually anticipate what they're going to be asking you to do. And that's something you can do in classes. I learned to do that. Learn to anticipate what's going to be coming in a class and then prepare for it. Then you look like you know what you're doing, but you kind of you use your own personal ability to find insight, figure things out. Build your network. If I was to be fired today, I would start tapping into my network, and I know that the time and effort I put into building it and the people I've had connections with and sort of the reputation and I've tried to actually cultivate, I know that I could set up interviews by next week. That's a good assurance. And you should be doing the same thing. And I'm always looking at opportunities, and I share them on LinkedIn, and people recognize that. People come to me and ask me to post things, people I don't know. I share something just out of because I like to share there's good opportunities or companies I've heard of, and the presidents of those companies connect with me on LinkedIn because I just did it because I wanted to help. Do things for others, others will do for you. And then always be looking for opportunities to professional development. With ASSP, I'm the current VP of Professional Development, the Council of Professional Development. So I see the value. There are more opportunities than you have hours in the day. But again, I can help guide you. And taking the initiative to pursue something outside of your classroom requirements says a lot about your personality and the value you could bring to a company. You're not going to just wait there, twiddle your thumbs and wait for them to ask you to do things. You have that initiative. I think that's all I really wanted to talk about. I'm going to be going back to a lot of this information, a lot of these tips and advice throughout the semester instead of just hammer it once. So I think we should have a good semester. I've got some good things to share with you, and I'm planning to kind of develop some of my own podcasts I'm going to develop it this semester, and I'm going to be doing some presentations virtually, but they're going to kind of align with what we've been talking about in this class. I supervised a graduate student this summer who started doing some work, and I mirrored some of the work he had done, and so I want to do some writing and some online presentations. So, and you can be part of that. I've always got opportunities for students to do research or help me out with stuff. That's all I got. So reach out to me whenever you need. I'm happy to meet with any of you one-on-one to talk about stuff. But I just want you to know that if you're having difficulty, you got to come to me and ask me, because I'm going to push you as hard as I can to develop. You got to let me know when you're feeling the strain. That's it.